Now for our second story of today, though. Enough about the Cuomos. Andrew Cuomo's gone. GG's from CNN. CNN ousted him. Okay, after all these fucking details were released. Or not Andrew Cuomo, sorry. Chris Cuomo's gone from CNN after the Andrew Cuomo relationship came out. Okay? But the reason why I wanted to fucking talk about this story was because it gives you a... Like, people always say I'm a conspiracy theorist or whatever in an effort to, like, you know, derail the conversation or attack me for my positions or whatever the fuck, right? And instead of, like, you know, saying...
More like moronic variant of
instead of saying anything like, you know, there's no truth to this, here's a reason why there's no truth to this, they literally fucking claim that I'm making shit up or I'm a conspiracy theorist. The reason why I wanted to show you the story is because pretty much every single thing I've told you about how the media operates alongside fucking Flag, alongside PR, alongside, like, you know, establishment Democrats is 100% shown in this story with Liz Smith defending Andrew Cuomo. It is a glaring fucking example of hypocrisy, and it's not a conspiracy theory whatsoever. It's just how people operate. Okay, this is how the media works. This is how the mafia works. Stop encouraging people from disengaging and voting. Try more. Now do Republicans. Hasan, stop being a bitch. Dude, going forward, if you come into my chat when I am making actual critiques of the Democratic Party that are legitimate, valid, and also absolutely well-deserved, specifically because they operate as a fucking bottleneck for any sort of progressive momentum from happening in this country, and that there is genuine interest among the voter base to enact a populist agenda, and yet it somehow fails over and over and over again as a consequence of this tightly fucking wound operation, okay, that is very effective at moving the country slower and slower to the right, okay, and pushing people away from fucking voting, and simultaneously allowing Republicans to win while only being successful at stopping people like Bernie Sanders from gaining more prominence. If you're coming in here and defending the Democratic Party when I literally mentioned this and show you the facts and show you the receipts straight up, then you need to show me your receipts. Are you a DNC operative? Are you getting paid? Show me your fucking pay stubs. I need to see your pay stubs. Okay? That's it. If you don't have a pay stub and you're doing this for fucking free 99, you are a bootlicker. You are no different than the Republican dumbass that comes in here that only makes like $35,000 a year and says, no, the rich actually do need to have tax cuts. You're fucking wrong. I'm going to be rich one day. You think you're better than them because you think you're on the right side of an argument, and sometimes you end up on the right side of an argument, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have any sort of fundamentals or you understand the basics at all. You're only operating, you're only looking at politics from the framework of team sports. Okay? I think you're being sexist against Stacey Abrams. My impression of a rad lib. It's wild, dude. It is absolutely fucking wild that people will still come in here when we're not even on, like when we're not even during a fucking heated election cycle and say, you saying this somehow hurts people from going out to vote. I've done more than every fucking chatter in here that is criticizing me in getting people to go out and vote, okay? Getting people to organize, getting people to door knock, getting people to go out and vote. I don't want to fucking hear from you, okay? All you do is me, cry about the fucking Democratic Party and how much better they are than the Republicans. That's it. And I don't care. I don't care for your point of view. And unless you show me the pay stubs that you are a fucking DNC operative, I don't want to have you here defending the DNC, even in clear moments where they are demonstrably behaving in a horrifying way. I love Veep, but isn't it for advanced class? I'm afraid it would make newbies nihilistic. Guys, shut the fuck up. This idea that, like, this notion that, you know, people are going to watch a fucking HBO show and, like, not want to vote is so stupid. You want to know how you get people to vote, okay, or not vote? Keep putting neoliberal cutouts that advocate for the exact same fucking things with like a little bit of different seasoning over and over again, with the hopes that, like, you know, every 4 years, yeah, Republicans might win again. But ultimately, like, when the public is fatigued by how demonstrably villainous Republicans are, then they'll end up voting for the Democrats again. And then we won't do anything when we're in a position of power. Okay. And then that cycle continues. And all alongside that process, you have millions and millions of more people not fucking voting because they are fed up with the process. It's not the media that they're consuming that's going to dissuade them. Okay. It's the actual candidates. It's the DNC. It's the multi-billion-dollar operation that they engage in to make it seem like the next shit stain with a new coat of polish, like Joe Biden, who's not even the fucking new coat of polish, it was the old coat of polish for Joe Biden, is actually the best possible way to defeat Donald Trump. Okay? And the best possible way for America's future. You're a big hater, man. One day you will understand what these words mean, okay? Maybe you're not ready for it. I'm sorry. There are plenty of people in this chat who probably came in with your point of view as well. It doesn't feel good when you hear someone like myself come out so strongly against the Democratic Party, okay? But the Democratic Party does not have a single policy position outside of, we are not the Republicans, look how bad the Republicans are. And they don't even run. They don't run like the Republicans do. Republicans know that they are at a disadvantage. So they do everything they can to win. They fucking suppress the vote. They stop you from voting. They activate some of the most horrifying fucking base of voters that they possibly can, from the white evangelicals all the way to like straight up white supremacists. Okay. And they do that in an effort to win. And throughout that process, they're running every fucking day for the 4 years in the cycle. They're running on their campaign positions that they're building in to the base the base electorate that they have. They're getting them to fucking believe their causes. They're creating new controversies like CRT, Antifa, whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Mr. Potato Head, for fuck's sake, okay? And they're operating in unison with Fox News to do this. And their complicated but very powerful media structure that they have. They have an incredible infrastructure, okay? And they do all of this, and they run like they want to fucking win. And in an effort to win, they even educate their voter base and get them to say, if you're a Republican, okay, then these are the things you believe in, like school choice. That's why you have fucking weirdos that don't have anything to do with school choice or don't even understand the conversation being like, yeah, I love school choice. I'm voting for the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. They hate school choice. Okay? The Democrats do not do that. They exclusively rely on Republicans winning every 4 years and behaving in the most demonic way possible and greatly ruining like liberal democracy, okay? Running on that and then finally winning a fucking election only to not roll back any of the things. Where's the public option? Where's the $10,000 that was going to be eliminated from student debt? Student loan debt relief was a pivotal campaign policy choice from the Democrats. Something that Joe Biden could do with a fucking pen. That's it. Where is it? Nowhere. Where is legalized weed? Nowhere. Where's the public option? Joe Biden ran on the public option. It was the true right way to move America forward in healthcare. That Medicare for all was too all-encompassing.
Already well into the toddler era.
Where is raising the minimum wage? Nowhere. Where is the eradication of children in cages? The Biden administration stopped, just like the Obama administration had, stopped using private prisons, right? At the federal level. Okay. Except they didn't stop it for immigration detention facilities. And that's where the bulk of private prison usage at the federal level is. So they didn't even stop it at all. They're also fighting in courts to defend Title 42, a Trump-era policy that the CDC, like an expansion of CDC's powers or an interpretation of CDC's powers, rather, to continue mass purging asylum seekers from this country without allowing them their due process and their legal right to fucking seek asylum. Nobody talks about it. They're fighting in courts to keep using Title 42, by the way. Yes. There was a judge in Texas that wanted to throw out the usage of Title 42, and the Biden administration is using that Trump-era policy to this day and fighting it in the courts to maintain it. Okay? That's what you get for your lesser of two evils argument. Where is the change? Where is the change that they fucking promised? And the reason why they can get away with this and not actually deliver any of the fucking changes.
21 months.
Okay? The reason why they can get away with not giving you any fucking crumb of a change that they promised, not even rolling back the Trump administration's policies, but instead continuing them, is because there are idiots like you in the chat that come in here and fucking defend the DNC and defend the Democratic Party. That is precisely why I get so fucking mad when I hear you coming in here and doing agitprop for the DNC. They never need to change anything. They never need to fucking even engage in incremental or marginal progress that they claim they were going to. Because there are idiots, even in a fucking community like this one, which is comprised of mostly radical leftists, radical from the point of view of America, okay? From the point of view of the American political Overton window, this community is as radical as it gets. And yet, even here, there are people defending DNC's empty fucking promises. That's why they can get away with it. Because if you are in here defending the DNC's and the Democratic Party's agenda not coming to fruition, then you think your parents aren't going to do that? Your parents don't even give a fuck. They think the country's great. Or they think the country is awful, depending on who's president. That's it. Anyway, now let's get to a hilarious story. Donald Trump tested positive for COVID before the Biden debate.
We find out he had COVID. Mark Meadows knew he had COVID. Trump knew he had COVID. They went into the debate knowing he had tested positive.
They were like, we're going to kill Joe Biden. That is an assassination attempt, dude. That is as close as you can get to an assassination attempt, dude. Joe Biden is like 7 million years old. If Donald Trump is in proximity of Joe Biden with COVID, it's a wrap, dude. It's GG's.
For COVID and put everybody in there in danger. And I, for the life of me, I didn't understand it on debate night. I don't understand it now. I have no idea why they allowed that guy to bluster his way in without giving him a test.
Right. So what we're, Mark Meadows, the chief of staff, who's obviously in the news right now for his upcoming deposition, writes in a new book that The Guardian has an excerpt of that published just an hour or so ago, right, that President Trump had tested positive for COVID several days prior, right, for that first debate, meaning that he attended a couple of rallies, including one in Minnesota. We knew that he'd cut it short. He seemed like he was under the weather.
They told him not to go.
Right. And then
he went anyway.
He did. And he
knowing he had COVID.
And apparently.
Show me a man who loves the cause as much as Donald Trump. I mean, this man was willing to fucking do a murder-suicide, okay? Think about that. Donald Trump is the Fedayeen, okay? Yes, I'm going to come over. I'm going to cough on you. Whatever. Believe me. What are you? Oh, Joe Biden, what a pussy. He's wearing a mask. He was trying to fucking get him to take the mask off, dude. But come on. Show me your face. Show me your face, Joe.
Luck number 13 has.
I said he's a Fedayeen, but I didn't say he was a martyr for what the cause was. I just said the cause. The cause for Donald Trump was just notoriety, popularity, you know, whatever like was in front of his nose at the time. You know what I mean? I never said he like genuinely has an ideological predisposition towards one side or the other or anything like that. He more so, I think, was just like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm going into his mind right now. This is like speculation. It's a fun story, okay? Because we're behind it now. It's behind us. But I'm imagining a Trump being like, I will survive it. I'm so strong. I'm so powerful. But Biden won't. And he's right. Biden would not have survived COVID.
The book reveals that he went to a previous rally a couple days prior and had tested positive for that as well, and came back on Air Force One to speak to reporters. And we know at least one member of the press pool on the plane contracted coronavirus around that same time. It certainly seems likely it was from the president of the United States. And then he went to the first general election debate against Joe Biden. There were all these health and safety protocols put in place, but testing was sort of done on the honor system. And the Trump team blew in late and said,
No, the reason why they didn't fucking actually do the testing on Donald Trump was because it was top of the hour and there was a 60-second ad break and it was too late for them to do so. Okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, okay, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. Or maybe if you're lucky, you get a fucking gifted sub. Okay. But Twitch Prime is free if you don't have $5. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Hassan's lower part, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads, for example. Okay. These are the ways that you can avoid them. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
Keep up the great work. Hassle.
So as I was saying, Woku Games, thank you for the 5 get the subs. But no, the real reason why fucking Donald Trump wasn't tested, and it was the honor system, even though we know he has no fucking honor, was because they want Donald, they have to have him. It's a major ratings boost, dude. It's a fucking major ratings moment for whatever network it was on. Thank you, Don, Jenny, and thank you, Rise Up, y'all, for the 5 get the subs.
13 months of Gorillionaire streaming socialist takes. Thanks, Ajan Pogo.
This is what you have left to complain about? What? I'm not even complaining. I'm like literally saying I admire Donald Trump in a joking capacity.
No revolution?
Dude, right-wingers are so sad and so desperate that they literally are just like, oh, look at that. Donald Trump is on screen. He must be complaining. Oh, you've ran out of content. You've ran out of content. You're talking about Donald Trump again. It's like, bro, trust me. I think about Donald Trump's thick, juicy, voluptuous pussy as much as you do. Okay? As much as you do.
He could be speaking. I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
I mean, yeah. That was a threat. That was literally him goading Joe Biden to be like, come on, give me a kiss. Give me a handshake, you pussy. Give me a handshake. Give me. My hands are not even tiny. Let's match it up. First off, kudos to anyone willing to take on a 2022 race in what is likely to be a tough cycle. Second, this to me is a good illustration of what I'm talking about when I talk about the virtues of progressives returning to Obama-era messaging. Ugh. Exactly. Everyone's favorite Matt Iglesias is everyone's favorite liberal Matt Iglesias is on board. That's all you need to know.
We don't have time to be tested. So he wasn't, even though the Biden had the candidate and his team were tested. Let's also remember, in the audience that day, the Trump family, none of them wore masks, despite the fact they were required to do so. The Biden family all wore masks. The Trump team didn't. And it was only after the debate, when the president then announced that he indeed had COVID and had to be airlifted to Walter Reed. So if this chronology is right, and it's from the former chief of staff, so we certainly have no reason to doubt it, this is explosive and extraordinarily irresponsible.
They're just punks. They're just punks who don't care about anybody but themselves, and we know that's always been the case. But this highlights it even at the highest level, even on the biggest stage internationally. They're behaving this way. And again, I would love to know who was in charge of that debate. and why they didn't stop. Because I guarantee you, it's a whoa, Nelly. I don't care who you are. I don't care how late we are. Sit your ass down. We're going to have a
Nelly.
test. Or we're not going to have a debate. We'll just let Biden talk for 2 hours. We don't care. Take the test. So who didn't give him the test? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's a rhetorical.
It takes all of like 10 seconds, too.
Yeah, of course. But of course he's not going to do the test because he's already had the positive. It's ridiculous.
But this is the kind of thing that I think we've tolerated too much from Trump. Trump has been able to guerrilla his way, bluff his way through everything, including, I mean, can you imagine we're talking about a presidential debate?
Yeah.
He's made all of these, as we would say, signals.
Bro, they are so horny for Trump's return. I mean, you know, you can make the same argument about me too. Like, not gonna lie, it's like I do miss him. You know what I mean? But they are so transparently fucking horn dogging for Donald Trump's return. Okay, anyone who claims otherwise is just a liar. At least I tell you the God's honest truth, my honest truth. Okay, I miss him. I just want him to be on TV. I don't want him to actually run for president. I don't want him to actually, like, I don't want him to have like genuine influence over the broader electorate. I just want him to be on TV and like, I want to see him. Okay. Because he is a uniquely entertaining figure. I just want him on Twitter again. I don't know. But of course, that comes along with, like, you know, him being in front of the camera or having any sort of prominence, of course, will ultimately always result in, you know, January 6th style activities. So I recognize that. Just like it's the same as fucking, what do you call it? It's the same as Alex Jones. Like, he's an entertaining figure, but unfortunately, we are not ready for him as a country. We're simply not ready for him as a country. That's just the truth. Fuck you completely. Gross, you're a psychopath. Missing fascists. Yeah. I'm ready for Alex Jones. No, Alex Jones would be regarded as peak entertainment if we could all appreciate him like I appreciate him. You know, if we all had the fucking same kind of processing power.
It was literally designed so this could happen.
Okay. Then, you know, we would be able to look at Alex Jones and be like, well, he's just content. He's just content. He's just content, you know? But we can't. Because there are insane people that are even more insane than Alex Jones who take every word Alex Jones says seriously. And he literally fucking, and they will act on his behalf. Except when Alex Jones invades TYT said during the RNC, are you kidding me? That was content as fuck too. I like HasanAbi, but as a Mexican living on the border, please understand that his words literally led to a shooting in El Paso. No, I know. I've talked about that too. Don't get me wrong. I really needed to hear what you said today, and they went and got mad about it, Lamau. I'm saying that, like, I wish there was a way to capture Donald Trump's essence.
Just got my booster shot.
Without his influence actually galvanizing fascism and normalizing, you know, fascist behavior. It's not a real thing. Do you understand? Like, that's not a real situation. It'll never happen. But I remember you talking about El Paso, and honestly, thank you for that. Yeah, I talked about it recently. People had forgotten about El Paso. Anyway.
Signifying about Biden.
His essence is inherently violent, idiotic, oppressive, though. Yeah, but like also funny at the same time, you know? It's funny how when Trump was president, everyone hated him, and now we're missing him. Just how you missed the top of the hour ad break. No, I already ran the ad.
age, and he's standing up there COVID positive, knowing he's putting Biden and everybody at danger, and he's up there taking shots at people, and they're just letting him do it. We have tolerated too much from Trump, and now when his own chief of staff is telling on him, when are we going to say to people, look, enough is enough? We're actually sitting here letting him dictate what happens to one of the two parties in the country when he would put people at risk in the middle of COVID-19 after he told them to start shooting up some bleach.
I find it surprisingly dumb that you need to explain the thing about Trump. There are extremely stupid people on the left. Man, it's the internet and everyone can find their way on here. They might not know what my fucking background is. That's the reason why I have to repeat the same things over and over again all the time on this broadcast. It probably leads you to go, why the fuck is he repeating this again? Well, the reason why I have to repeat it is because, well, one, we're on the left. So obviously being a leftist is about like consistently fucking responding to joy kills. Okay. That's just how, and never laughing, never experiencing laughter. It's just how it is. Leftism is about no jokes, and the less jokes you make, the more leftist you are. I thought we already established this, so I'm quite surprised. Did you guys think I was joking when I said that? Because I certainly was not. It's about no fun and no jokes.
Dude, American politics is literally a reality show.
As an alternative to some real scientific.
But that's the larger point. What you're seeing is the merger of personal behavior and public policy.
Right.
This is an administration that acted with disregard to the public health of the society, and then you had the president, if you will, personalizing that in his own behavior. So to me, it's totally consistent.
I think we forget that you grew a ton after the election, so a lot of these chatters weren't here for Trump in office. Well, what the fuck do they think? Do they think I, as a person who's like roundly fucking criticized and attacked by the right and like shit on the right regularly, is like a fan of Donald Trump or something? No, the only reason why someone would say something like that is because they want to fucking show everybody else in the chat how fucking woke they are. Okay, that's it. Like how much more woke they are than everybody else. Okay, I'm done with this. I don't want to fucking see this. Oh, here's Joe Biden's response to it.
Mark Meadows has written a book revealing that President Trump tested positive for COVID 3 days before your first.
Damn, he coughed right on it too.
COVID 3 days before your first debate. Do you think the former president put you at risk?
I don't think about the former president.
Mr. President, whatever happened to your promise to shut down?
Were you aware that he tested positive?
Sir, what testing requirements are you going to implement?